Hello Peter, Christelle, and the rest of the Atmosphere Health Club members. I'm Dave Scott, and we're going to be doing a series of videos. I know this is one of many, and we had one recently on the immune system. This time we're going to talk about dietary supplements, and this has come from all of you, and this is really I think a great topic and lots of questions, and certainly one that I can follow up on in future chats. So I've just kind of written on the board a few of the questions that you have sent me, and I'll just kind of run through supplements. I think first off, my first comment is that when we're looking at supplements, we really want to look at them as a supplement to eating whole, healthy foods. And I put this down as number one. Once we have a good dietary intake, and last month I talked about the immune system, which included a lot of information on proper diet. Once we have that established, there are some supplements when we're under stress or when we're exercising that really can enhance your whole health profile. So in this particular comment, I said, number one, pay attention to what you're eating each day. And one of the things that you can really do to just wreak havoc on your entire system is to binge eat, to eat excessive carbohydrates, to eat very late at night. And it doesn't take even one day to throw your whole metabolism, your hormonal system off. So if you're tempted to overeat and eat too much, particularly late, try to stop, drink some water, walk around, see if you can negate that, because it doesn't matter if you eat whole foods, that can rectify the problem, or you take supplements on top of this binge eating or excessive eating, you still have done havoc to your system. So let's kind of go through my list here, and I've listed some of the questions that you have sent to me with the big Q here. And the first one under number one is, does the body adapt in taking supplements, and is the effectiveness lost over time by taking supplements? No, it's not, because you kind of want to think of your body as a tide pool, and that tide pool has evaporation. In other words, you're starting to lose some of that water, you're starting to lose some of the nutrients, and we turn over food, and our body metabolizes it, our hormones use it, our enzymes use it every 24 hours. So there's a fairly low shelf life with the one caveat is that if we eat bad food, and let's say that we have a high mercury content or high metal content from fish, and particularly farm fish, that can present havoc with your liver and your kidneys and your whole fat metabolism system. But as far as adding supplements, we want to try to think about taking these on a daily basis because our body does turn them over. And when you're under stress, whether it's emotional stress or physical stress, lack of sleep, and also exercise, you need to increase your supplement intake. So I've included these down the list. So a really good question. If we go to number three, is there any effect with supplements on the kidney and the liver? Yes, there can be. And when we look at supplements, we ought to look at the dietary part of it, because if we look at the liver, where the biggest problems are with bodybuilders, and a lot of studies have shown, and I'm not against bodybuilding by any means, and there are very good supplements because bodybuilders are exercising folks, men and women, and in my list they're really suited for bodybuilding. But what we don't want to get into is where we're taking diuretics, we're taking stimulants, and this is where the liver has had a lot of trouble, and also in weight loss products. So where we see supplement problems is in those two key areas with liver function. Your liver is pretty good at taking in any sort of toxicity and cleaning it out, as well as your kidneys. And we look at kidneys, what are the supplements that can cause havoc? We don't really think of antibiotics as a supplement, but antibiotics can really negate your gut flora, which affects your hormonal system, which affects the absorption of other supplements. So if you've been on antibiotics, if you're taking them regularly, you want to make sure that you take a probiotic and review that video that I sent last month on the immune system. But that can cause issues with your supplement intake. Also, as I mentioned, diuretics, both the liver and the kidney are affected by this. And non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs can also affect your issues with your kidneys. The other ones in excess that have a little bit of stimulant can also affect the liver and kidneys, and I'll come down to those in just a second. Another great question. Number 4, are there supplements that can reduce the insulin response? And I just put a couple things here because when we go to number 5, it'll answer some of the questions that positively enhance insulin response. One, and I mentioned this last month, is that we want to reduce carbohydrates at CHO. Take out those simple refined carbohydrates because particularly in the liquid form, that elevates the carbohydrate response. Our pancreas pumps out a lot of insulin, we get a blood sugar spike. So any type of fruit juice or fruit drink or vitamin water, lousy. Refined simple carbohydrates, even from a grain source, get rid of them. Make sure that you're eating healthy fat and you're also eating healthy protein as well, because that slows down the insulin response. The healthy fat will actually help burn fat, and the protein increases what's called the thermic effect of food. So the TEF of food revs up your metabolic rate, and that's a real plus in slowing down these spikes that we may get with insulin. So number 5, maybe the key one, and this also covers a number of the questions like what can we take when we're under stress, what do we do when we exercise, and what really are the best supplements. So I tried to put these in what I think are my top list, A through H, and I think anyone else who has a background in nutrition would say, well, gee, he left out such and such. So it's not the end-all or cure-all list, but let's kind of go through these. The very first one, and it is absolutely first, and these are not necessarily in order, but I certainly like the first 3 as the top 3. Vitamin D3, and everyone should have their D3 levels checked. And even in Australia where you're exposed to the sun and you think, gee, my vitamin D levels are going to be very high because we absorb it from the sun, that may not be the case. Everyone is genetically defined by our parents. Our activity levels outside sometimes really do not enhance the vitamin D levels. And we want to try to look at 70 nanograms per milliliter, so 70 NGs, and when you have this vitamin D test, you should be taking D3 to kind of boost it up. A lot of really interesting studies on vitamin D levels. People that have all different types of cancers have been shown to have very low vitamin D levels, around the 20 or to 25 range. People that have Parkinson's or history of Parkinson's or Alzheimer's all have low vitamin D levels, and there's a lot of great research kind of looking at vitamin D because it's in every cell of your body and it affects sort of like a hormone rather than a vitamin. So it's really on my top list, and it's a simple test. You should be taking 400 to 2,000 international units a day. The second one is krill, and I mentioned this last time. It's a good antioxidant and anti-inflammatory as well. And it's the best form of omega-3s. It's good for your mood, it's good for exercise, reducing inflammation, it's good for your muscles. And I'm a big fan of krill, 400 to 1,200 international units a day. So if you don't eat cold water fish 2 or 3 times a week, you want to try to be on the higher end of this. The third one is called astaxanthin. It's spelled X-A-N, but you say it astaxanthin. And it's the most potent antioxidant. It comes from algae. The krill eat the astaxanthin, so the krill have astaxanthin in them. And it permeates every membrane of your body. So fat membranes, retinal membranes, water-soluble membranes. And it's on my AAA list, 8 to 12 milligrams per day. The fourth one is kind of an unknown. It's probably gotten a lot more print in the last 2 years, and it's magnesium. And magnesium is in every cell of our body. It affects muscle performance, heart performance, electrolyte function. And those of you that have tetany, where you may notice that your muscles start to shake a little bit, or they start to quiver, or you're predisposed to cramping, it could be just low levels of magnesium. We lose magnesium when we sweat, so for people that are exercising, this is one of the questions, are there good ones for exercise? And those first 4 in a row are really magical for exercise. 200 to 600 milligrams per day, and it's good to spread those out throughout the day. So, for example, I take 200 in the morning, 200 at noon, 200 at night. So I take 600 a day because I had actually a heart condition called atrial flutter, and one of the reasons was my magnesium levels were low at the time. So this is a good one to take. There was a question on green tea. Is green tea a good thing for fat loss? Is it a stimulus? It has a lot of good compounds in it, so I put this on my list on the end. I'm really a big fan of green tea, but there's also a number of different herbs and spices that are good. This is a very short list. Ginger and turmeric is an anti-inflammatory, another type of algae called spirulina. So I put that on my short list, and I'm sure a lot of you could expand on this one. How much? Have it on a daily basis. That's a good start. Looking down the list, letter F, whey protein concentrate, 20 to 50 grams per day. Those of you that are more heavily muscled, have high power output type of workouts or multiple sessions today, should be taking a higher concentration of whey protein concentrate. So make sure when you look at the label, I work with an EAS company, they have a great protein, 100% whey protein, and the first ingredient is whey protein concentrate. They put a little bit of isolate in there, that enhances some of the absorption, but it's reduced the antibodies. So make sure that you're getting the concentrated form. EAS is a good one to look at. I put down here G, ubiquinol or CoQ10. So the assimilable form of CoQ10 is ubiquinol. It's pretty expensive. It permeates every cell. It's involved with fat, carbohydrate, and protein metabolism. It's one of my favorite ones. I think a lot of people would really benefit from it. It's an antioxidant as well, 100 to 200 milligrams a day. And the very last one on my list is called alpha lipoic acid, and it's a vitamin-like compound. Again, it permeates all the cell membranes. It kind of mops up the other antioxidants like vitamin C and vitamin E, which were not on my list here, which I think they are great supplements, but not in my top list. So I like alpha lipoic acid. Anyway, I hope this helps, and I hope when you're looking at supplements that you really want to try to take these with food. They enhance food, so you don't want to take supplements by themselves. And if you're just taking them once a day, because that's all you can remember, take them in your morning meal, morning breakfast meal. That's the best time to take it. The magnesium one, you can also take that at night because it also enhances bone development as well. So that's a good one to take in the evening. So I hope this helps. Dietary supplements. I'll talk to you real soon.